Ready to take your favorite WagerTalk handicappers wherever you travel this football season? The WagerTalk TV app is now live for phones, tablets, smart TVs, and streaming platforms. Tune into your favorite shows like WagerTalk Today, Bet on It, and the Opening Line Report, plus browse through our extensive library of sports betting tips. Create your personal playlist of betting tip videos to help you prepare for the upcoming season, and set notifications to alert you when new content is added. Download the app for Apple, Android, Amazon, and Roku devices by searching for WagerTalk TV, or scan the QR code on your screen to join the winning conversation today.
Welcome into First Pitch World Series edition. I am Drew Martin, joined today by Steve Merrill and Matt Josephs of WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com. Respectfully, we are talking World Series, tied up 2 games apiece. Game number 5 going around the horn here. Matt Josephs, he's got the shirt on. He's ready to rock. Welcome in. How you feeling today, Matt?
We'll see how I'm feeling tonight by midnight. The one thing I can say for sure, the Phillies will not get no hit tonight. That much I can guarantee. Now, they might get 1 hit. I don't know, but they're not going to get no hit tonight. But seriously, though, I'm going to provide the impartial opinion while I am rooting for the Phillies tonight. I do think that I got some thoughts on the game, but looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Sure, absolutely, Matt. Good to have you. We got Steve Merrill as well. And, of course, off of that no-hitter last night, I believe only the 3rd time in World Series history here, Steve. So history was made last night. How are you feeling watching the World Series?
Oh, here we go, Matt. He just said 3rd time, because if it's the 3rd time, it would be tonight. Because, Drew, there's only been 2 no-hitters, so we might get that no-hitter tonight. Yeah, I mean, I heard it was the 2nd ever, and keep in mind, the only other time was 1956, a perfect game, of course, by Don Larson. We've all known about that one since we were little. You always hear about the World Series perfect game, but what's so incredible about that one last night was not only were multiple pitchers used, but 4 pitchers. I mean, welcome to modern baseball, right? Kershaw was pulled earlier this season in April with a perfect game on the line. That's, I still cringe when I hear that. And look, you don't want to blow a World Series game, and obviously it worked out for them as they shut them out, no hits allowed. But still, 4 pitchers to throw a no-hitter just kind of takes the glory away from that. One thing I will say about that quickly, and Matt will touch upon it as well. I mean, the Phillies used 5 relievers last night, 1 inning each. The Astros, no hit, and they still had to use 3 relief pitchers, 1 inning each, though. So everyone should be good to go tonight. And because of the rain delay Monday, they did push everything back again. We will get a travel day tomorrow and Friday, which means game Saturday and game 7, if necessary, will be Sunday. It was initially going to be Friday, Saturday. Now it's Saturday, Sunday in Houston.
Matt, let's get into it, man. We got World Series 8:03 Eastern time. Justin Verlander, Noah Syndergaard, Astros at the Phillies here. Seeing about a -150 price tag. That's the Astros as the road favorite, also taking the lead in the series price as well. Anywhere from -148, that's at the Westgate, looking at the WagerTalk Live odds screen, to as high as -155 at DraftKings. That's the Astros as the favorite. Does need to be noted, Verlander in the World Series hasn't been very good. In fact, of all pitchers that have pitched 30 innings in the World Series, he does have the worst ERA in MLB history in the World Series. Noah Syndergaard, likely an opener of some sorts here, Matt. Maybe go a couple innings and then have a quick leash is what I've been reading for the Philadelphia staff. What are you thinking tonight in Philadelphia?
So I think, first off, with regards to the pitching plans, I think it's Syndergaard for 3, maybe 3 2/3 to get up to Yordan Alvarez, because I don't think they want him facing the lefties 3 and 4 for a second time. And then who knows? The tough part of kind of figuring out the pitching rotation here is a lot of managers would go to another like mid-level type reliever and then kind of build up to the Alvarados and Sir Anthony's, but Rob Thompson has said basically, like, if he feels like Alvarado's the guy to go with in the 4th inning, then that's what he's going to do. My vision is you go 3 innings plus with Syndergaard. You bring in Connor Brogdon to kind of go maybe 1 or 2 innings, because he's been pretty good this postseason. And then you kind of open up everything else. You got Alvarado, you got Sir Anthony. I even think there's a chance to Ranger Suarez throws an inning tonight, because it would be his throw day, considering he's going to go game 7. In a way, I don't like necessarily the start of the game for the Phillies because of Thor. I kind of like how they can line things up if the game is going in their direction. Now, if they're losing 5-6-0, then that changes the pitchers that you're going to use. But even with the off day, they could still go with the A staff there. So I kind of like how everything lines up if Syndergaard can get through his 3 innings. Syndergaard's facing the Astros for the 3rd time this season already. He faced them twice as a starter with the Angels. The K-prop came out at 2.5 with the juice heavy towards the under. And ironically, he had 3 strikeouts one game. He had 1 strikeout the other game. And at first, I really wanted to go with the under because you figure he's going to go 3 innings. He's going to face 9 batters in an ideal world. But the Astros have actually struck out a little bit more in the playoffs as of late. And outside of Jamison Taillon, like they've had 3 strikeouts against every single right-hander in the postseason. So I find it interesting that there might be a little bit of value on Syndergaard's over 2.5 at a plus price. There might be a little bit of value there. And then on the Astros side, Verlander's a wild card. He has not won in the World Series so far, but he is the veteran type that's going to get really excited for a game like this. I also think the Philly crowd can get in his head a little bit. I think, we saw that a little bit in McCullers. Maybe that's why he was tipping pitches. So I think Verlander's a little bit of a wild card. I think there's runs scored early, and then I think it tapers off late. I think if there is runs scored early, there's value on an under late in the game because these 2 bullpens and these set of arms are going to shut things down the back end. So if you're not going to play anything before the game and we do get some runs early on, maybe an in-game under when this thing starts drying up towards the back end of the contest.
Okay, good look there. Matt Joseph, sportsmemo.com, at MidMajorMatt on Twitter. We got Steve Merrill here. Find him at WagerTalk. Steve, you were right. In terms of 3rd no-hitter in postseason history is what I was reading. But yeah, only 2 in the World Series, so good stuff there. I will say this, though, Steve. Phillies, here's a stat for you. Enter Game 5 with 0 runs scored in their last 12 innings. So those hot Phillies bats that we knew in the World Series have gone cold more recently. What's your look tonight in Philadelphia?
Yeah, and speaking of that total, I mean, right now, you look at the Wager Talk live odds screen, on Thursday afternoon, 7.5 across the board, but they're all juiced, under 15, even an under 20. And I bring that up because 7 is a critical number. So there is a little bit of value, as far as under 7.5, if you're looking at key numbers there, and you probably want to play that sooner than later. I don't know if it's going to hit that key number of 7. It definitely doesn't look like we're going to see any 8s, though. Houston, a decent size, medium-sized road favorite here on the money line, around minus $1.50 heading into this game. If you want to take it down on the run line, you're getting plus money at plus 110. But it's interesting. If you look at it on the surface, I think you could say Houston has outplayed Philly probably in 3 of the 4 games. Game 1 was so strange. They're out to the – first of all, every team in this series has had a 5-0 lead at some point. The difference is that Philly overcame it in Game 1 to come back to win in the 10th inning. One of the worst fielders in Major League Baseball all season makes a diving catch in right field. Otherwise, it's a different game. So Houston could easily be up 3-1 in this series. They dominated Game 2. They dominated Game 4. Yes, Philly dominated Game 3, but keep in mind that was after the rain out. It was the first game back in Philly and excited. So really, other than that letdown spot, Houston's been the better team in this series. And now on the surface, they have the best pitcher in baseball on the mound, likely Cy Young winner here in Justin Verlander. But as we've discussed, he has been awful in the World Series. And that's an incredible stat you did bring up, Drew, about 30-plus innings, the worst, ERA ever in the World Series. And it's not a surprise. I mean, it's 6.07 with 43 innings pitched. So let's dig deeper into Verlander's numbers. He pitched back in 2006 for the Tigers, 2 starts, 5.73 ERA. Was really bad in 1 start in 2012, had an 11.3 ERA in that 1 game in which he gave up 5 earned runs in just 4 innings. So with the Tigers, he gave up 12 earned runs in 15 innings, but that was over a decade ago. What I think is more useful here is to look at the 3 starts with the Astros. 2017, 5 earned runs in 12 innings, 3.75 ERA, pretty respectable. 2019, 5.7 ERA, not as good, 7 runs, 11 innings. And, of course, he gave up 5 in 5 innings in Game 1, but he pitched well early, just had that really bad inning. Something's not right with the World Series. I get that, but it's still a very small sample size. He is old. What is he? I think 37. That's a concern late in the season. That's another reason I think Kershaw has worn down and not done as well in the postseason. But Verlander's been pretty good in the other postseasons other than the World Series. On the surface, this should be a good bounce-back spot for him. He had a terrible outing against Seattle in that first playoff game. He gave up 6 runs, 10 hits in 4 innings, but then he bounced back against the Yankees with 11 strikeouts, 1 earned run, 3 hits in 6 innings. I think more likely than not, he probably bounces back with a good showing tonight. Under 7.5, obviously, with a favorable line there. Phillies doing a bullpen game. As I mentioned earlier, 5 relievers used last night, but they each only went 1 inning. We have a travel day tomorrow. I think both teams will go very deep into the bullpen. They'll pull out all their punches here, especially Philly, who has to win this game Under 7.5 might have some value at that key number.
Okay, maybe look there towards the under, guys. We'll go around the horn here one more time for final thoughts. If you got a best bet, throw it out. Huge shout out to the chat box. Roger Long, we got Mountain Man, Lewis in the house, John Pierre as well. Welcome into all you guys. Let us know what you're looking to bet tonight. Any questions as well, we'll try to answer them on tomorrow's show. Feel free to fire away in the reply section below on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. And we will be back tomorrow for First Pitch, the final first pitch of the year. It's been a great year here on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. Appreciate everybody tuning in all year long from opening day, actually a couple days before opening day, all the way through the World Series. So it will end tomorrow for this year. We'll be back next season, but we do have 2 games, like Steve just talked about, a travel day tomorrow, and then 2 games one game on Saturday, 1 game on Sunday. That's the way that the World Series is slated to go. And of course, that game on Sunday, if necessary. So going around the horn here, best bets, final thoughts for tonight's game. Any look ahead towards the series, guys, if you have it. I'm going to go with the Astros tonight. I didn't give it out to the clients because, like Steve just touched on, kind of a heavy favorite there as the road team. And I haven't don't like releasing high money line plays. But you can get it as low as minus 143 at Circa in Las Vegas. So I'll take that low watermark number. And I agree with Steve's sentiment. I think Verlander does bounce back. I think, maybe there is something to this World Series, him having the highest ERA of any pitcher that's pitched more than 30 innings in the World Series in MLB history. But there's really only 99 pitchers that have done that. And I don't know. I think he's experienced enough that maybe it's just short sample size and he does bounce back. So give me Verlander, give me the Astros. I think we get the better bullpen as well. It's tough to win in Philadelphia. I mean, it really is. They've shown it all postseason long, going back multiple years here. But still, this Astros team, I think they're the best team in baseball. And at minus 143, I'll take them. It's low enough for me. So that's my best bet. Going to be a good game. Fun to watch tonight in the raucous atmosphere in Philadelphia. Somebody that knows that atmosphere is Matt Josephs. Guys, check him out, sportsmemo.com. 3 straight years, college football, profitability. He knows his MLB as well. So, Matt, throw it over to you. Any final thoughts here for tonight's game if you got a best bet in the series, man?
Well, I mean, look, the Astros are the better team here. The Astros have everybody lined up perfectly. You figure, Valdez in Game 6. And then Game 7, you put a bunch of guys out there, and ultimately Javier goes a bunch of innings. So the Phillies have to win tonight. I believe somewhat in the magic of Citizens Bank Park. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I think they're going to win tonight, but I think there's a little bit of comfort with taking the 1.5. If you're the Phillies. As I said, I like the way that things line up later. I mean, Brogdon's pitched better as of late. You put an inning of Suarez. I don't think Alvarado is going to pitch as badly as he did. I mean, you got, bases loaded, nobody out, the best hitter in the lineup. Yeah, you don't want to hit the guy, but, that was not a great situation. You might even see Sir Anthony Dominguez go 2 tonight. So I think if Syndergaard can keep this thing relatively close, I think the Phillies can line up their bullpen the rest of the game in a certain situation to kind of make things interesting tonight. I don't think they're going to win, but I'll take the comfort of the 1.5, and then I'll push the Eagles in there maybe in some sort of money line or maybe some sort of parlay with that thing because I think the Eagles win tonight. One of my best bets, I think, and I don't know if the guy's going to start, and if it doesn't start, then your money comes back. I saw in a bunch of places under a half a hit for Trey Mancini's plus 105. The guy's won for his last 34. I don't think he's going to play tonight, so therefore this bet will get void. You'll get your money back. But if for some reason Mancini's in the lineup tonight, he's got terrible numbers pretty much against every Phillies pitcher, and he may see every Phillies pitcher tonight. So I'm going to take advantage of a plus price here. I know he may not play, and as I said, you'll get your money back, but a guy who's 1 for 34 should not be favored to have a hit tonight. So I'll take under half a hit for Trey Mancini if he's in the starting lineup tonight.
Matt, I got to ask you a question, man. The Philadelphia special tonight, that would be the Eagles minus 13.5 and what, the Phillies plus 1.5 minus 130. Philadelphia special for you?
Yeah, I mean, look, I got to do it. It's like when you're born in the city, you got to do it. If the Flyers are playing tonight or if the Union or, the Sixers, I can't bet on the Sixers. That's another story. But, why not? I got to put a little bit on it. Why not? I mean, I can't see how the Eagles lose tonight. And I think as I said, I'm trying not to be a homer, and I'm very good at not being a homer. I just think there'll be a little magic tonight. They may not win, but I think it's a one-run game. So that's why I'm taking the 1.5 and taking that little cushion. I do lean to the under, too, but I like the plus 1.5 a little bit more.
Matt Josephs, ladies and gentlemen. Not trying to be a homer, but the Philadelphia special, guys. Eagles and Phillies. Great stuff, as always, from Matt Josephs. Check them out, sportsmemo.com. Also great stuff from Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. Steve, take it away, man. What do you got for final thoughts if you got a best bet?
Yeah, Matt mentioned, the Philly game, 13.5, 14-point spread in the NFL, minus 800 on the money line. So the 13.5 run line, whatever you'd call it in the NFL, point spread, I guess, is worth 800 cents. In MLB, though, you could get the Astros at plus money, as I said earlier, instead of minus money. So the run line does make a difference there. I want to quickly look at the MVP odds. We've been talking about this on each show I've done in the World Series. So thought I'd keep it going. Alex Bregman currently 3-1. He's the favorite now to win it. Kyle Tucker's the other Astro at 5-1. And then Cristian Javier, after a 6-inning no-hitter at 12-1, but he won't pitch again most likely. So I thought that was interesting. Bryce Harper, though, 3.25-1. He's almost even with Bregman. So it looks like if the Phillies come back to win this World Series, Harper will be the MVP. But I think Bregman's the play here. I think the Astros probably win this series. He had a huge two-strike hit to opposite field off a 101-mile-per-hour fastball in that fifth inning to get those 5 runs going last night. He's had hits in 3 of his 4 games. And Kyle Tucker had 2 home runs back in game 1. So that's kind of why he's up there on the list. So if he has another big game, he might pass Bregman. But I think Bregman's the constant in this Astros lineup. Astros going to win the series. I'm not sure $1.90, though. Maybe sprinkle a little bit on Bregman at 3-1 to win the MVP if you're looking at some series plays there. By the way, I do have a nice promo code for this week right now. Instant $30 discount on a 7-day all-sports package. And think about it. If you get it right now, you're going to get the rest of the World Series, NFL and college football over this full week. By the way, 7 college football games are loaded right now at WagerTalk.com for myself, Steve Merrill. NBA, and don't forget, college basketball starts this Monday. We're just about 4 days away from that. So you're getting 5 sports over the next 7 days with that all sports, all access. You're getting an instant $30 discount. Access 7 gets it done. Full details on my page, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Steve, one follow-up question for you. Thought that was interesting. You brought up Cristian Javier. I think you said 12-1 to win the MVP. One thing I want to throw out at you, actually, if it makes Game 7, I think that he would be the starter.
Good point.
Do you think that's worth a shot? I mean, because if he's able to shut him down, it's not like they're going to pull him in the 5th inning again. I think they're going to let him roll as long as he can. It's literally the last game of the season. I mean, at 12-1, I don't know if you're looking to swing for the fences. That's the one that stood out to me. Do you have any interest in it?
I don't. I'll tell you why. Because if he does go in Game 7, that would be Sunday, right? So I'm doing the math in my head. Boom, boom, boom. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's 3 days of rest. One angle, we talk about Verlander not being good in the World Series. One thing that's been very constant over the years is that pitchers on 3 days rest underperform because they normally always go in 4 or 5. So, yes, they pulled him, but he still had 97 pitches last night. I don't think he's thrown more than 100 except once all year. So I would not expect him to have a repeat performance. And by the way, Game 6 starter, you guys are going to talk more about this tomorrow, but I'm still seeing it undecided. And I bring that up because Valdez is also at 12-1. And if he comes out and wins the series in Game 6, I think he maybe gets MVP. I just wish I knew for sure if he was going in Game 6 or not. Otherwise, I would have mentioned him.
Interesting. Okay. Good stuff from Steve Merrill, Matt Josephs, WagerTalk, SportsMemo.com. Respectfully, I am Drew Martin. Again, guys, huge shout out to the chat box. Everybody joining us live. Frank joining us now. Roger as well. So please smash that like button. Feel free to comment below. We'll be back tomorrow, 1:45 Eastern time. So come back and join us. Cash those tickets.
If you like betting on horses, be sure to check out WagerTalk.com's own Sig, who zeroes on one racetrack at a time, offering his handicapping skills. Visit his homepage daily for his top selection in each race free. If you want all his selections for that track, you can get his full racing report for just $9.